Participate in a defensive drill, and the team suspended the guard for tonight's season opener because of it. Joel Embiid did not mince words about his teammate afterwards. Embiid told reporters he hadn't talked to Simmons and, quote, "Our job is not to babysit somebody, and I'm sure my teammates feel that way." This is messy. Shannon, where is this headed?
Where's it headed, Skip? I've been trying to tell you this for the longest time.
Yep.
And you say, oh, Doc can fix this. No, Doc is part of the reason why it got to this. A lot of this, Skip, look, a lot of this has to do with Ben. Ben did not play well in the Atlanta series. And when he was down at his lowest, he felt his superstar teammate and his coach piled on him. You can get the fans, Ben, you terrible, you suck, you're not any good. Okay, I can accept that. That's outside. But the one thing I don't want to have happen is one of my teammates and my coaches also piling on. So it made a situation, a bad situation, it made it worse. So this offseason, they go try to talk to him. I don't want to be here. I'm ready to move on. I think I know for a fact we should move on. Doc, you know, comes out here to L.A. and talks and be yelling and screaming and said, hey, you under contract, you're under effing contract. Ben said, I get all that. But I want to play for anybody other than you. And I kept telling you, Joel Embiid said, you know what? I've had it up to here with the PC stuff. Now, I'm about to tell you how I feel about this. He said, I ain't got nothing for this man. I paraphrase basically what he said, Skip. I'm not here to babysit. Now, Joel Embiid is telling you how he really feels.
At this point, I don't care about that man.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
That's how he's felt for the longest. But he kept, Ben and I, we won a lot of games. I want Ben back. We could do this. We were the #1 seed. I said, that's bull jive. You know it was bull jive. I know it was bull jive. Everybody in the locker room know it was bull jive. I know one guy for certain knew it was bull jive, and that was Ben Simmons. Skip, I don't know. Skip, it's only going to get worse. When you ask the man, will you say, okay, Ben, get in there for the series? Nah, I'm good. No, seriously, Ben, go in the sub. I need you in there. Nah, what part about that I'm good didn't you get? I'm not going in.
I'm wearing sweatpants, and I got my cell phone in my pocket, so Skip, I'm not going in.
Right, Skip. So what do? You say, you know what? I'll just wait till the game. Now, Skip, it's going to be awful embarrassing. You're on national television. You're like, all right, Ben. And you know Ben in the starting lineup, and Ben still got his warm-ups on, and he's sitting on the bench. And you out there with 4 players, and Ben sitting on the bench with his hands on his knees looking like, man, y'all minus a player. How is that going to look, Skip? I think, Skip, you got to move him sooner than later, Skip. Skip, it's getting worse. It's going to get really messy when it really doesn't have to be. And I get it. Ben is under contract. I don't like the way Ben has handled this. And I made it abundantly clear, Skip. I wouldn't have handled it like this. But how Ben Simmons would have handling it and how I would have handled it, totally different. But, Skip, it's unattainable. It's beyond repair. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that can be said now because Joel Embiid has let it known over the last week and a half how he truly feels about this situation. So, Skip, it's time to move on. You're not going to get equal value for him, but you got to move it.
Okay. I told you as late as I believe yesterday or maybe the day before, I was still holding out hope. And I know from inside they were holding out hope that this would slowly but surely blow over, that the air would get cleared. There'd be a little bit of forgive and some forget, and that they would slowly figure this back out. Because the Sixers, from the top down, do not want to trade Ben Simmons. He's just too valuable. They believe in him. They have bought stock in Ben Simmons because they've got 4 more years of contract that they owe him, that they feel like he owes them.
And that's a bargain. Consider where the salaries are going, that's a bargain what you got Ben Simmons under.
Okay, I got it. He made yet another all-star team last year. He made first-team all-defense, and obviously he got the free-throw demons, especially in the Atlanta series, and it got ugly. And to your point, the turning point, the irony was this was a quote from Joel Embiid right after that Game 7, in which he starts off saying the turning point in the game was when we had an open shot. We had an open shot, and we made one free throw, not shot by Ben Simmons, by Thibault, right? And we missed one, And they came down and scored. That's how he summed up the game.
Right.
We had an open shot.
Right.
The turning point was.
Right.
Well, I also think that was the turning point in this whole relationship with Ben Simmons. That was the turning point, the flash point.
That was one of it. When Doc said what he said.
When he said what he said, and he says, I didn't mean it that way. I was trying to duck and dodge the question, but it came across that I don't know if I can win with him as my point guard. Well, could you win with him maybe as your forward, something else, you know,
make him a point forward instead of a point guard.
Okay, and at that flashpoint moment in Game 7, they were down 2 at home with 3:30 left, and you know the rest of the story.
Correct.
Meanwhile, quietly, Ben Simmons was holding Trae Young to 5 of 23 that night to keep the Sixers in the game. That's why management, all the way at Morey up to the owner, Josh Harris, they look at this like, God, he's just we got to figure this back out because we have lost all leverage. We are now forced to give him away because nobody's going to give us equal value at this point.
And the thing is, Skip, Ben Simmons, he can guard 1 through 4. He can guard a point guard, 2 guard, power forward, and a small forward.
All right. Now to my point about yesterday. I was hanging in with my theory that they were going to figure this back out slowly but surely until Joel Embiid opened his mouth again. I've never heard anything like it. He is trying to blast this man out of town. And when he said, and I read you the quote, at this point, I don't care about that man. I was just happy that man didn't become that bleepity bleep, you know, because that's probably what he was thinking.
Of course.
But at least publicly, he did refer to him as that man, right?
Yeah.
But you know where his mind was going at that point.
Ben said, at this point in time, I drive him. I fly him up out of here as soon as you get him up out of the bed.
I also thought it was significant and critical yesterday that it was reported they have not spoken a word to each other. And I'm not sure how people would know that, but it came from inside.
Of course.
That Embiid and Ben's been there for 3 practices now. How can you coexist in a locker room? You said the other day, what would be just the way of the locker room when he walked back in the door? What's up? You know, just something.
But I told you when he coming back in there. He already done told you, bro, I'm fool with you. Don't speak to me.
Well, they clearly avoided each other carefully because they didn't even come close enough contact to give each other a nod, right? Like what you been up to, or just some. How's the weather kind of?
Skip, that's the difference between the football and basketball locker room.
I got it.
Because think about what would have happened if a football player said, "Man, I don't care nothing about that man." Bro, go step you. You got a problem with me?
It would be.
That's as simple as that, Skip.
And the team within the confines of the locker room would say, we're going to get this out.
We're going to air this out. We got to get this out because this is not helpful for us winning what we're trying to do.
If you were the leader of the Sixers, hypothetically, Shannon Sharp would have stepped up, the leader that you were, and you would have said, hey, timeout.
We're going to call team
now,
meeting.
This is behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
No coaches, no nobody.
Absolutely.
Hey, you and you. Let's talk it out. I want you to speak, then I want you to speak, and then we're all going to speak.
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
We're going to air this thing out until we come to some grips with it, right?
I'm going to say, Ben, look, we understand that you don't want to be here. But in the meantime, while you're here, until you are no longer here, let's try to make the best of this situation. Let's try to win as many games as you can. We understand you don't want to be here, and we think at this present time that would be the best thing for everybody, for you not to be here. But until that day comes, can we all be professional? Can we all be adults and handle this the right way, go out here and win games until you're no longer here? But this doesn't serve anybody. The contention in the locker room, we got to diffuse this because it's unnecessary. We're just petty. We're not in the same box. We're making millions and millions of dollars. We're professional athletes. This is not how we're supposed to behave.
Okay, so that's what Joel said right after the game, 7, and then just a couple of weeks back, September 30th, remember, he referred to Ben's holdout as borderline kind of disrespectful. Disrespectful. It's a shot fired. That just as Ben is thinking, well, maybe I'll go back in there. I don't know. And then he's like, borderline disrespectful.
Because Joel is looking at it like, hold on, bro. You need to be here getting up shots. You the last person that need to be missing training camp. That's why he said it's borderline disrespectful. Somebody that needs work, you're the last person that needs to be not here.
Okay, and then he caps it off yesterday with the babysit quote. I'm not here to babysit. So he's referring to his co-star as a big baby, right? Okay, it won't fly. It's just going to end the situation to the point where if I'm management, I want to get Joel away from the media.
Yeah, I want to Joel. Hey, Joel, I need you to stop talking, bro.
Yeah,
I want you to stop talking.
We're going to keep you out of harm's way here.
Yeah, Joel is unavailable for comment today.
Well, seriously.
Because then he said that, he don't care nothing about that man. He does what he wants to do anyway. So now what are you going to do, Skip? You still think he's going to be there?
Well, it's all about Joel now. It's not about Ben. It's about this guy.
Yeah.
Because he is making it unfixable.
Yes.
Because he's only pouring gasoline on the bonfire.
It's already blazing.
It is blazing, and he just every time he sits down to the media, and he does it so nonchalantly, like.
Right.
Well, and he just goes on. I'm not here to babysit. I don't care about that man.
Sometimes, Skip, we love guys when they're very candid, they're very matter of fact. But this is the one time you're like, I wish Joel wouldn't tell the truth. I still wish he would be PC so we could try to mend fences.
Yep.
But Skip, ain't no more mending. Joel Embiid has just kicked the fence down.
Well, okay, so Ben is suspended for one game, but then there's going to be another game.
Yeah, they got 81 more after this. Okay. So what you going to do?
I don't know. I'll be fascinated.
You know what you're going to do? They're going to end up doing him like they did Andre Drummond, like they did Blake Griffin. They're going to say basically stay away until we find a situation that's amenable, that makes sense for us.
I still think they're holding out hope that we'll tell you to stay away until you want to come back and do it right.
Man, I can't believe it. That man said he got enough for that man.
I know. I
ain't here to babysit him. You just called a man a baby.
I mean, to me, it was like borderline suspendable for Joel. Yeah. Like Joel, you're the guy. You're causing the problem.
You contradict your commitment to the team.
Well, is it not?
Yeah,
it's so destructive.
It is. And I think it's Skip. I don't know. I said at the time we